All right, guys, we're back for another one. This week it is the Belva BB200ABV2. Let's check it out. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. You should check out my website, welshaudio.com. Everything ships for free. The prices that you see is the prices that you'll pay at checkout. Enjoy the video. All right, here's what we've got, guys. This is another one of those little Class AB monoblocks rated to go to 2 ohms. There's a bunch of those. The most popular one is probably that Boss Riot 1100. But let's check out the end here. There's your high-level inputs. We have input and output RCAs. That's cool. Gain, low pass, and bass boost. Those are metal knobs, which is kind of cool. You can see there that we just have a min and max on the gain, 40 hertz to 300 hertz on the low pass, and then a bass boost, 0 to 12 dB. There's where you plug in your remote, and then over here, you got one LED that shares the power and protection. All right, let's check out the other side. All right, just a single set of speaker outs, positive and negative. We do have a fuse. What size? 20. Let me get y'all in there nice and close. 25 is what it says. It's kind of hard to read. But, and then this looks like 4 gauge. That's probably overkill. But these look like 4s on the ends. I'll check that out. Let you know for sure. And then even there in the middle, it's like an 8 gauge. All right, it's pretty light. Let's check out the bottom. What do we have here? It's a model number, QC pass. We'll check out the guts when we get done dyno in this thing. I see a little bit of stuff in there. Okay. All right. This one here, all that I got with this one. So you do have your what else in there? Let's see, high level inputs, extra fuse. There's your cord for your bass knob. There's the bass knob. Kind of small. Probably should take this out for you guys. But the typical goodies there. You get a Belva sticker, and then you get the QR code. Thank you for purchasing. And a QR code. And I guess that's where you go check out the manual. I did go online to look up the specs. I did scan the QR code myself. So this little guy is rated, these are max ratings. It did not have any RMS ratings, but we're rated 200 max at 4 ohms and 500 max at 2 ohms. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in checking out this amp. But this amp currently on Amazon is $69.99. So $70, and they're going to get you for tax also. And if you're not a Prime member, you probably have to pay shipping and tax. So not exactly super cheap, but it is right there in the same ballpark as that Riot 1100. That Riot 1100 does somewhere around 200 watts. So I think that's a good amp to compare this one to. Let's see if this thing here can put out more than 200 watts. All right, let's get it wired up. All right, guys, here's your frequency response. This is for bass. Don't buy this amp for your door speakers. Let's turn it up a little bit. You'll see that the bass increases, but those vocals, those highs never do come up. Let's drop it back down a little bit. And just for the heck of it, let me roll the bass boost up. I got the filters open all the way up right now, by the way, playing pink noise, and the bass boost all the way off. Let me roll the bass boost up just to see what happens. They actually can operate a little differently on the bass boost. Certain frequencies or all the bass frequencies. Let's go on up. Just a very slight, they pretty much all, let's back up. And then all the way back down. Just a little bit. Okay, what was the dBs on that? 12 dBs is what it says. Let's look at the graph and see if we can tell. It's peaking out about -18. It's all the way up. Let's go all the way down. Yeah, I don't know. That's probably not accurate. on the 18 dBs. But anyhow, all right, let's finish wiring it up. Let's get it on some resistors and play some 40 hertz. All right. All right, guys, here we go. This is 4 ohms, 40 hertz, rated 200 max. What's it gonna do? Here we go. Oh, starting off at 14.8. That's right. Let's put that in the right mode, and we're capturing the current. Let's roll it up. Are we gonna see 100, 200? I don't know. 123. Okay, I'll be honest with you guys, that's a little more than I expected. You know, with it saying 200 max, I thought, all right, is that 100 RMS? I don't know. I wish they'd have gave it some RMS ratings. Let's do that same run, but let's do dynamic. All right, here we go. 40 hertz, dynamic, 4 ohms. What's it gonna do? Only a couple more watts. Yep, that looks to be the case. All right, let's move on to the 2 ohm testing. Let's see if we're gonna see that, you know, we got a 25 amp fuse in there, so somewhere in the neighborhood of 250. That would be double that number right there. I don't know. Let's find out. All right, guys, here we go. 2 ohms, rated 500 max. So what is that, 250 RMS? I mean, there's no certain rule about that, to be honest. That is how a lot of people treat it, but let's find out. What are we gonna get? 40 hertz, 2 ohms. Uh-oh, 288. I saw the flash. We popped a fuse on that run. The voltage did not drop, and we pulled 48.6. So yeah, that's quite a bit of current for a little 25 amp fuse. What should we do here? Replace that, do that run again? Should we put one a little bit bigger in there? I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that for a minute. All right, guys, yes. Will it focus? Oh my gosh. Yeah, anyhow. It's blown. I think you can see there, barely, that looks like it's messed up. We have Mr. Green in there. Y'all know what that is. 30 amp fuse. Man, and some of y'all go nuts. It's funny, I had a comment either this morning or yesterday, I don't know. Somebody being a smart aleck on another video where I changed the fuse out for something bigger. Man, some of you guys need to go take a blood pressure pill and chill out just a minute. It's kind of ridiculous, some of the comments and how fired up some of you guys get about these things. Anyhow, let's move on. Let's do that test again, and let's do that test with a little bit bigger fuse. I will tell you right now, this is already a better amp than that Boss Riot 1100. It puts out more power. One of my neighbors is shooting, by the way, so y'all may hear that in the background. We do a lot of shooting around here too. All right, y'all let me know. I bet a bunch of y'all like to shoot. We got any deer hunters out there? It's about that time. All right, let's roll it up. 40 hertz, 2 ohms, rated 500 max. I'm assuming 250 RMS. Let's do that run again. We did 288 with a 25 amp fuse. Here we go. Same exact number. The voltage did not drop. That time we pulled 48.1. So that was an extra, what, amp and a half or something like that, but it did not allow for any more wattage. I'll take this 30 back out probably, if I've got another 25 to stick in there to sell this thing. But guys, that's about 100 more watts than that Boss Riot. Let's do dynamic. Let's see what it does at 1 ohm dynamic. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's the problem. I just now accidentally hooked this up to 1 ohm. I meant to go to 2. We was at 4 the first time. That was right. But when I redid my resistors, I went to 1 ohm. Holy cow. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave that in the video because now we know this thing will actually handle a 1 ohm load. I mean, it blew the fuse. I'm not saying do that, but I'm going to leave that in because some of you guys had another comment this morning, something about, that's right, Josh Holden actually said this morning on another video that he wished I would have went below the rating and put a bigger fuse. And that's what we just now did on accident with this amp. Guys, I'm just telling you, it's kind of easy to do that type of stuff on the test bench. All right, let me change the resistors up. Let's do, you know what, we're gonna do 1 ohm dynamic before I do that. And then we're gonna do the 2 ohm testing. Wow, guys. Hey, I'm a goofball just like anybody else, but I'm gonna leave this as part of the video. All right, let's do 1 ohm dynamic. All right, 1 ohm dynamic. And the funny thing is, you guys probably noticed that before I did, that the meter said 1 ohm. I wasn't paying attention to that until I set it. And that is what clued me in on it. I finally noticed that the meter said 1 ohm. All right, here we go. 1 ohm dynamic. Here we go. What? 322. Okay, wow, cool. What a cool little amp. I don't know if that Boss Riot will even go to 1 ohm without blowing up. I don't really know. But I will tell you this, I like this amp quite a bit better than that. They're priced about the same. Anyhow, all right, let's do the 2 ohm testing. All right, here we go. 2 ohms, rated 500 max. 40 hertz, 2 ohms. Here we go. What are we gonna see out of it? 201. Okay, the voltage did not drop. We pulled 29.7 amps of current. All right, wow, so yes, it's right on par with that Boss Riot. Some people's testing on the Boss Riot, they only got like was it 180 or 190 something? But this thing is about the same power output. I don't know if that Boss Riot will go to 1 ohm without blowing up. Anyhow, let's do that same run, but let's do dynamic, 2 ohms, 40 hertz. Here we go, 2 ohms dynamic. 209. Was that 9 more watts there? Oh, jumped again. Okay, about 12 more watts. All right, guys, pretty cool, pretty cool. Good little entry level amp, something that's way less than $100. It does, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. Good little entry level amp. Be smart with your money. Man, you can get so much for so little these days. It's hard to get a lot for $70 though, I'll be honest with you. But let's put this on those subs. I'm thinking about putting this on 2 of those subs over there and just letting it roll at 1 ohm. Because of rise and stuff, I can hear it now. Some of you guys are just gonna go nuts. How dare you run that below? It's funny because I have plenty of people, probably more people, that love to see that type of stuff. But anyhow, it's funny. All right, let's go put it on some subwoofers. All right, guys, if you've ever wondered what a BB200 will do on 2 Sundown 15s wired to 1 ohm, this is your chance. All right, here we go. Let's see. Here we go. What's it gonna do? Let's restart that track. Right here, the Sundown's on the bottom. boy, she handled that like a champ. All right. I mean, we're not talking about a lot of power in this amp for sure, but we are talking about a pretty low price, and apparently it's built fairly heavy duty. I would not recommend wiring this amp to 1 ohm, you know, stay at 2 or higher. You'd probably get good service out of this amp for a long time if you do that, to be honest. This amp never went into protect today. I mean, I know it shot that fuse. I don't think anybody is going to blame it for shooting a fuse with the way that I had it wired and the amperage that it drew, but it did great today. All right, let's get it over there. Let's get the back plate off of it. I'm really interested to see what kind of guts we're looking at here. We know it's not going to be super impressive. It only does that kind of output right there. But still, let's go take a look at the gut shot. All right, guys, here we go. It's the gut shot. 3, 2, 1. All right, pretty skippy. I mean, we didn't expect a lot out of a, you know, 200 to 300 watt amp. But that's what you get. I'll go through here slowly for you guys that love this type of stuff. I don't blame you, I just don't know enough about it, honestly. Let's look at those caps. Will this thing refocus for me? I'm gonna have to stay out here. 2200 microfarad, 50 volt, odd cap. What is the temperature on those? 105. You may have to, there you go, you can see it right there. All right, anyhow. Then over here, 105. What's that thing? It's not gonna be the same size. 2200 microfarad, 25 volt. The little one over here, the little black one. All right, anyhow, guys. All right, let me put the plate back on here. I wanna talk about the terminals for a second. Compare it to that amp from 2 weeks ago, if y'all remember that amp. I'll get it out. I've still got that amp, haven't sold it yet, and I'll compare these two side by side and talk about the terminals. All right, guys, here's what I'm talking about. The amp of the week this week, this guy right here, 300 watts, roughly. Nice 4 gauge, those are 4s, by the way. Inputs, way overkill. A 300 watt amp does not need 4 gauge wire. 2 weeks ago, we had this guy, did what? 900 watts? Now this is a Class D and all that good stuff. Now, it claims to be a 3600, by the way, but it put out good power, and it's got doggone fork terminals, and it calls for a 4 gauge wire. Little crazy. This is a situation where fork terminals would have been totally fine over here, and this one over here needed these nice screw down terminals. So that's just, we see that a lot with some of these cheaper amplifiers. I don't know. This is so much easier to work with. I did end up picking up some of those, you don't see them much, but I did end up picking up some of those fork terminals for a 4 gauge wire. Boy, they're goofy looking. I'm just telling you, not many people are gonna do that. Not many people are gonna run a 4 gauge wire to this amp. I meet with way too many people and see how people's stuff is wired up way too often to be under the illusion that sure, is one guy out of 20 gonna do that correctly? Probably, yeah. There's people out there that will, but I'm just saying the vast majority will hook this thing up with something way smaller than it's supposed to have, just simply because of the type of terminals it is. If it's got 4 gauges on it like this, they're much more inclined to use a 4 gauge wire. But just thought I would show that to you since I still had this amp laying around. All right, let's get to filling out the card on this guy. All right, guys, sit tight for me just a second. All right, guys, here we go. Boy, I could write down a lot of different things on here. With all the different testing we did today, I could write down those 1 ohm numbers and all that, but I'm not going to. Let's give it that 201 at 40 hertz. And that was at 2 ohms uncertified. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are amazing. Had some really cool comments lately too. What's funny is I've had some crappy ones this week, but I've also had some that were just over the top awesome this week as well. So thank y'all for the support. Please come back again next week. I'm still dropping the Wednesday videos too. So yeah, let's come back. Let's see each other again on Wednesday and again next Sunday. Guys, thanks for all the support. Have a good week. Bye.